everyone, my name is Christiana Williams and I'm here with McCall, and she is a YouTuber, and we're here to talk about mental health today. And I'm from Teenage Mental Love, and basically we are a site that supports people out there who are struggling with mental health. We always help people so they don't feel alone. We help to pick them up, especially when they're going through something. So I hope you guys enjoyed this interview. I'm going to link Nicole's social media, her YouTube channel, Instagram, and everything down below, and her house that she's joining, the Pound LA, and and I'm going to link my website down below and my social media for Teenage Mental Love. So I hope you guys enjoy, and we'll get right into it. Yes. So firstly, I wanted to ask, how are you doing mentally, like in life right now?
Well, okay, so personally, I'm doing amazing because I feel very blessed to be healthy and safe with everything going on, and I have a lot of exciting things happening in my life. But then when I think about everything on like a world aspect, I get obviously very sad.
Yeah.
Like there's so much justice that hasn't been brought to different things. So that's why I think it's important that everyone should be using any platform they have to talk about it. But I mean, at the end of the day, like personally, I'm fine, but like it's also like I'm not fine because other people aren't okay,
I
And so it'd be
completely
selfish to be like, well, I'm fine, so everything's fine, But
Yeah,
yeah.
I completely understand, but that's still so great that you even think about those things, because some people with the platform, they don't even address it, they don't talk about it, and like even in your videos, you don't stop, like you constantly always promote all those things, and I love that. And I wanted to also ask you, what made you start a YouTube channel? Like, did anyone inspire you, or yeah?
Yeah, okay, so I went to a middle school that was also a high school, and it was also an art school, so there's a lot going on, and I did the middle school play, and there was an upperclassman, I think she was a junior when I was like a 7th grader or something, and she had a YouTube channel, and so I thought she was the coolest person, like she was like a celebrity in my eyes. Her name is Cassie Polson, and she actually still has a YouTube channel, so she's great, and we became really good friends, and she was always kind of like a mentor to me. And I was like, well, if she has a YouTube channel, I have to have a YouTube channel. So then I started one because of her, and it went pretty well. So thank you,
Wow.
Cassie.
Yes, wow, that's so wonderful. And I also wanted to ask you, when you started this YouTube channel, did you like have any intention to reach such a wide audience, or did you just start it like, I know you said because of Cassie, but also like for fun?
Well, I don't know. I just started it because I thought, okay, so I've always loved making
Hmm.
videos, and it started because H2O, like that mermaid show.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so when I was younger, I would always make little skits with my neighbors,
Mhm.
and I really wanted to make like a channel that was like a TV show, and like I wanted to
Wow.
make like my own mermaid
Yeah,
spin-off. So
yeah.
that was the dream when I
Yes,
started,
yes.
But I never thought I would blow up. Like I
Wow.
just did it for fun, so it was
Yeah.
kind of like a fun surprise. But
Yes.
originally, I wanted to be a mermaid,
Yeah.
So
Yes, I hear you, but that's so great. And that's like so cool, because especially a lot of people, they just do this with one idea in their head, and then like now your video of 6 months of heartbreak documented that like
yeah,
blew up like so much,
it
and that's
blew
so
up.
wonderful. Yes. And I wanted to ask you about that. When you were filming that video, I know you wanted to like document firstly your experience, and you also helped so many people. So I wanted to ask you, did you ever feel like a way, like when you're filming it, that maybe this will inspire someone or help someone through hard times?
Yeah, so okay, so I sometimes have a hard time opening up to people when I'm
Mm.
sad. And so this concept came to my head at a time where like I felt really alone, and like
Mm.
I knew I had friends that I could reach out to. I just didn't want to. Like I think a
Yes.
lot of people struggle with that. And so I was like, what if I documented this,
Mm.
cuz I like watching people, like
Yeah.
videos help me,
Yeah.
Like I feel like that's where like a lot of people social
Yes.
media
Yes.
helps people.
Mhm.
And so I looked up on YouTube. I was like Heartbreak documented. I wanted to see if
Oh.
anyone had done it because I
Yeah.
came up with this idea,
Mhm.
and people had done like a we broke up and like an update, but
Mm.
I didn't find
Mhm.
one video that was like over a period of
Yeah.
months.
Yeah.
This is what I did to heal. This is how I felt
Yes.
here and there.
Mm.
And I thought like, wow, I might have come up with something that's like really special.
Mhm. Yeah.
So then I did it, and I just felt like really kind of like anxious and almost embarrassed to show that I was so
Mhm.
sad because it's a very vulnerable thing. But
Mhm.
then I got like thousands of comments and hundreds of DMs, and I was like, wow, this was so worth it
Yes.
because people were telling me like I didn't think anyone felt like I did, but then I saw that you did, and I was like, wow, that is why I did it.
Yes,
That is why
yes,
I
that's
did.
exactly why you did it. Yes, and that's amazing. And I was even going through the comments to myself, and like there's so many people are going through the same thing that you went through, or went through the same thing, everything. And like what you did was literally so inspirational to so many people, and it's
Oh,
so
thank
wonderful.
you.
Of course, yes. And I also wanted to ask you, is it sometimes hard to make videos you love? Like I know, and a certain thing I've noticed with YouTubers is after a while they start to get like burned out in a way. Like for
Mhm.
example, like I remember when it was a trend like asking my Instagram followers what to wear in a day or what to do in a day. Yeah, and when someone sees those trends, they want to copy it. However, sometimes it's not what they want to make. So I wanted to ask you, is it sometimes hard?
Um, I think it can be hard to like think of concepts, like
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, but I don't think I've been doing it long enough to feel burned out.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never really done trends like that because I'm not going to make a video I don't want to. And
Mm-hmm.
so, like, that's something I really like about myself, like, because I know
Yeah.
that some YouTubers will just because it's trending do it. And
Mm-hmm.
I've tried to pride myself to not do that. Only if I'm going to enjoy it will I make it.
Yes.
So it can be hard to think of ideas, but for the most part, I'm pretty good. Sometimes I have too many ideas, and I'm like, oh, which one should I do? And then sometimes like I have no idea what to film.
Yes.
So it's very
Wow.
like you never
Yeah,
know.
of
But yeah.
course, yes. And I also want the first video that I discovered of you was the waking up day in the life of a high school athlete. And I
Oh,
thought,
okay.
yeah, I thought that was so great, and it really inspired me. I was like, wow, I really want to join track, and I
Oh
did.
my
And yeah, yeah,
gosh! No way!
yes, yes, because I was like the way you made it, like the way you portrayed your life, it was so put together, and I loved it, and I love that, like having everything all organized. And I wanted to ask you, does that ever like affect you with your mental health, like doing track or like waking up at such early times and having to do so much work and such?
I'm somebody that I like to. My mom calls me the overcommitment queen. So I like to be busy all the time. But doing a high school sport has never impacted me negatively. It's
Mm.
always made me want to be competitive. I'm a very competitive person. So it's a way for me to get my competitiveness out in a healthy way,
Yeah,
and like work hard.
of course.
But the only time it was negative was when it was canceled because COVID. Because
Oh,
I had been like
of
training for
course.
months, and I had a senior on my team named Annie that I love,
Oh, yeah.
and then it was our last season together.
Oh,
So that's the only time it was negative. But I love track so much. I think
oh,
everyone watching should
yeah.
try it.
Yeah.
Just try
Yes, yes.
it.
Yeah, and it's actually it's really, really fun.
Yeah, do
And
you like it?
yeah, I really do. Like, I was doing it when I was in third grade, but I took a little break because like I was just it was a lot with school. And then I went back after watching your video, and ooh, I really do love it. Yeah. It's
Oh
really
my goodness!
amazing.
Yay!
Thank you. And
Mhm.
I also wanted to say I when while growing up, did you ever struggle with anything mentally? Did you ever go through anything that really impacted your life?
Um, I'm so blessed that like I haven't really struggled with mental health,
Mm.
but I have. I mean, not to call it my sister, she'd be fine, but like she has struggled with mental health, so I've
Yeah.
definitely witnessed it, and I've hopefully helped her a little bit. But I'm so blessed. I kind of like runs in my family. Like a lot of family members have struggled, and I haven't yet. I don't
Mm.
know if I will,
Mm.
but I yeah, and I also I've seen that a lot of people are like, "Oh, I was depressed. I have anxiety." And it becomes like an overused term.
Of course.
So
Yeah.
like I've had
Mhm.
periods where I've been really really sad and I've had periods where I've been really anxious, but I don't want to like self-diagnose
Mm.
and like take away from people who really go through it because after seeing what my sister has gone through,
Mhm.
I don't like when it's kind of like a trend to be like, "Oh, like I'm so depressed." It's like
Of
it's like
course.
that's not you don't want to be depressed. like, but
That's so
I'm blessed that I haven't.
yeah, wow, that's wonderful. And I wanted to add on to that that that's exactly what I've seen with a lot of people. Like a lot of people say, "Wow, I have anxiety attacks," or "I have anxiety," and kind of they get scared for going up to up on the stage one day, but it it's not really something that's lifelong. So I completely
Yeah.
understand what you mean, and that's
Yeah.
so wonderful that you said that because like that's really true. Yes, and I also want to ask, do you ever feel like social media and YouTube can be like a toxic place sometimes?
I definitely okay, sorry to start, but I definitely think it can be.
Yeah.
But I'm very blessed that my audience is so kind and I
Mm,
love them.
of
But
course.
on TikTok, I feel like our generation is almost normalizing cyberbullying again, and it becomes a trend to hate somebody.
Mm.
And I think that this can be seen most with like Madison Beer and
Oh
Nessa,
yeah, yeah.
like Barrett or
Mm-hmm,
Barrett.
mm-hmm.
And I think that they're probably the sweetest gals, and everybody makes mistakes, but I see like these comments and these videos made about them, and I'm just like, are you kidding me?
I know.
Like, that is so
Of
disrespectful, and
course.
it's normalized. Like, we are
Mm-hmm.
normalizing it, because then even on their own videos, all their comments are so rude,
You're right.
and I'm just
Mm-hmm.
like, what are we doing here, guys? Like, we need to
Yes.
regroup. We need to have a little
Exactly.
conversation, regroup,
Yes.
because it's like they're people. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that as much as our generation is so amazing, I think we're gonna make a
Mm-hmm.
lot of change. I'm
Yes.
really worried that cyberbullying is definitely being normalized again on
Being,
TikTok, and so
yes.
it can be very toxic in that way.
Yes, you are so true with that. And I remember there's this, I know the difference between alt and straight TikTok and that
Yes.
going on, yeah. And then I remember Moop, who's a part of alt TikTok, she said how like how Instagram, when the reels came in, that she noticed that people are kinder on Instagram than, TikTok. And she's like a popular creator who almost everyone loves. So like it's kind
Yeah.
of crazy to think that even she notices something like that. And you're right, like I saw a video of a young girl named Harley, and she did a video where she was like, I don't know if you saw it. It was like on a lot of people's for you pages, and it was
Mhm.
basically her showing like a video of herself, and she's like, how guys who are my age see me, and they're like, oh, you're not my type, and then guys who are older than her will say that she's her type, and the comments were
Mhm.
just horrible. It was bad. It was so bad, and yeah, and when you went to her Instagram, because she linked it, it was flooded there. Then her Snapchat, and just like it would never end. And I was like, wow, this is literally normalizing cyberbullying. And you're
Yeah.
right. Yes, wow.
It's
And
really
mm,
cool.
yes, yes. And I'm so happy that you brought light to that, because that is so true. Yes.
Yeah.
And I want to also ask you, what is it like to have your supporters and your community around you, like especially during times when you're making your videos?
Mhm. It is amazing. So I have a really close friend named Shonda's Magic. I'm sure anyone watching knows who he is. And he's always told me that like my viewers are like the most loyal. And I agree. Like, they are my friends. I love them. Like, they're so kind. They just like, we all get each other.
Yeah.
The comment section is always a party on my
Oh,
YouTube videos,
yeah.
and I just love them. Like, it's
Yes.
so cool. It's like I have so many different
Of
friends,
course,
and I
yeah.
think it's amazing. I just love them.
That's wonderful. That's amazing. Also,
Mhm.
when you're like ever like going through something or a period where it's really overwhelming, do you have any friends that like really help you and you reach out to during this time?
Yes, all my friends are absolutely amazing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I could talk about them all day. I never like to talk about things for the most part. So like, that's like my own battle, because my friends are so amazing and they've let me talk about it like endlessly.
Mm-hmm.
But I have this best friend named Daniela, and she's amazing. And we've definitely built a relationship where we can tell each other everything. And recently I've been trying to tell her, like, even if it's like a minor inconvenience, I just tell her to like try to get myself to normalize like telling people that things aren't okay, because
Yeah.
that's really hard for me. And I even told her, I was like, I didn't really care that this happened, but I just wanted to tell
Mm-hmm.
you because I want to get myself to tell people,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm
Of
really bad at
course.
that. And then all of the boys, I'm like in a friend group with 6 other guys. They're amazing. I love them. I could tell them anything. So
Aw.
those are two amazing support systems for
Yes,
me.
that's amazing. Wow. And I love that so much. And I also wanted to bring in like photography with that, because I noticed that you're really passionate about that. Does that ever
Mm.
help you? Like, is that a how do you say it, like an outlet for you?
Yeah, okay, so I have this friend named Maya.
Mm-hmm.
She's amazing. Love her. Her name's Maya Woolham. And she like takes a photo of everything. And it's like she doesn't even stage it usually. She just like takes a picture of everything that's happening, kind of like as a memory. And this is kind of like a trait of hers that I've developed.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't even like, and now I do it all the time, and it's so fun. And I don't think I'd ever pursue photography or anything, but it's just so fun just to like capture the moment, and you can always look back and it was just candid, and it's like almost like you're vlogging, but it's just a photo.
Of course,
You
of
can always
course.
remember that. So I got
Yeah.
that from Maya. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
really fun.
Yeah, that's amazing and wonderful. And I wanted to say that when I was watching your YouTube videos, you talked about it, and the way you speak about it, like it just shows how much like passion you have for it. And I really love that, because, again, like I feel like you're right. Like your subscribers and your followers, they really do connect with you. Like for example, I also do photography, and when I heard that you're talking about it, I was like, wow, someone's so passionate about it, and I just love to see that, especially with someone who I'm following. And I thought that was wonderful. Yes, and I wanted to ask you. I saw in your recent video that you talked about how you're joining the Pound LA, and I wanted to ask. Yes, I I want to ask if you could like share more about that, if that's okay.
I would love to share about
Great.
it.
Yeah.
Well, basically, most people probably know him as Sean Does Magic, but he has always told us, he was like, I want to live in a house with you guys, because we were friends before social media. So when we all started social media, Sean was like, we need to move in together, like we need to make this a thing. And this was kind of before creator houses.
Yeah.
But then the Hype House came out, and Sean was like, this is rad, like we should make our own creator house. So that's always been an idea that he has had. And then he's actually going to join this other creator house, and then he passed up on this huge offer that he had, and he came to us and he was like, I believe in our friend group so much, like we need to make this house. So it's kind of like all thanks to Sean. And all of us like, okay, we're in, like let's do it. And so we've had a couple of writing sessions and a couple meetings that we've been working really hard. And something that's unique about us is that we were friends before social media. And so a lot of these creator houses, I would say almost all, are kind of like manufactured. Like either they met through social media or their management was like, I'm going to get you into this house. And that can be amazing. That doesn't take away from their content. But we just have something that's special because we are friends at heart. And like friendship comes before work. And so I think that that's going to be really amazing to like just spread that connection with our supporters, you know, like really make like a friendship based like house, you know, and like spread love and positivity. But we are actually moving in this Saturday.
Wow.
And it's really exciting. And just stay tuned, guys. Follow the Pound LA on social media.
Of course, yes. Definitely we'll link it down below. And I wanted to also ask you, because I know you're 17, you said, when you're moving out like this at this age, does it ever like frighten you or scare you, or I don't know?
Well, I think if we were moving to LA right away, I'd definitely be scared. I'd be a little anxious. You know, I'd never admit that to my dad, but I probably would be a little anxious. But the house we're moving into was only about like 30 or 40 minutes away from my house, so it's a little commute. But I think it'll be a nice stepping stone. But I'm definitely a go-getter, and so I'm ready. I'm ready to do this. I feel like, you know, I've always been like, this is what I'm going to do to just everybody like in my community. And I'm sure they're like, okay, but like, when are you going to like do it? So it's like, now I'm going to do it. Like, this is the first step. We're going.
Wow.
So I'm really excited.
Yes. It's so wonderful. And I just have some questions about like a trip that you took. I saw your Maui trip and your trip to Jamaica. And I wanted to ask, were those nice and like refreshing to like step away from reality for a little bit?
Yes. So my Maui trip was amazing because it was in December. So it was before the reality of Corona in the US. So it was kind of like the best gift before quarantine. And I love Hawaii. I'm so blessed to have been there multiple times. It's this like so like ethereal and beautiful. Like like Hawaii just has the best vibes. I love Hawaii. So that was amazing. I could talk about Hawaii all day. But Jamaica was really cool because that was a trip we did where we worked with a community to build a sports court. So that was so amazing because it wasn't like, oh, we're staying in a really nice hotel and like we're going to do like all these like cool things. It's like I stayed with the community and like I learned about them and I learned their dances and I ate their food and then I got to work with them. And that's one of my favorite memories of all time. That was just, I think, my favorite trip I've ever been on. So Jamaica was awesome.
That's so amazing. And that just shows like how kind a person is, like when you step out of your way to like do something like that to help the community and go to another country. That's so wonderful. Yes, it's so inspirational. And I wanted to also ask you, do you have any like inspirational words for anyone who's struggling with mental health or even wants to start a YouTube channel but scared of what people might think of them?
Yes, I think for the YouTube channel part, so this is what I always tell myself. So when I am like 20 and I look back on being younger, I'm not going to want to remember, oh, I didn't do it because of people I don't talk to anymore. Because the reality is that the people in your life who you're embarrassed to do, like if I upload a video and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed for like my school to see it. It's like, you won't talk to these kids once you graduate. So when you're 20, you're going to want to look back and be like, I did it. Like, I did it. I found the courage because it's not going to matter when you're older. And what if it became your career? Like, you never know. And it makes me sad when people are like, I'm so embarrassed of what people are going to think at my school because I've definitely been made fun of at my school. And it's like, you can't care. It doesn't matter, especially because if they're making fun of you, that means they watched it. And that just adds to your paycheck. So, like, keep making fun of me, please. Please, like, add to my paycheck. But all jokes aside, I think anyone watching who wants it, you just have to do it. And your friends will support you. And anyone struggling with mental health, it's so important to open up. And I know I've just talked about how it's hard for me to open up, but let's all work on it together. Let's all push ourselves. Let's just try
Yes.
to open up. And I think even having one person that you can just talk to is really powerful.
Yes, that's wonderful. And I just want to ask because you said something that was really interesting to me. You said that like you were like bullied, for example, like for your YouTube channel or for anything in general. And I wanted to ask about that. Like, is that something that really impacted you?
No,
Oh,
my dad has like raised me. I have very like thick skin.
yeah.
I think I'm
Hmm.
very resilient too. And so when I hear that like, oh, this person said this, I'm like,
Hmm.
okay, let them say it. Like
No.
I don't think they'd have the guts to make a
Yeah.
YouTube channel. And usually people say stuff because they literally don't have the guts to do what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
It comes from a place of like they know that they couldn't do it, so then they want to say something. And it's not that bad. It's not like I've ever been like, oh, like started crying, but I've definitely heard that like so and so said this, so and so made fun of this, and then it's funny because sometimes I bring my camera to school and then they want to be in it,
Wow.
and then I'm
Yeah.
just like, you don't
Yeah.
think I know, but I know.
Of
Like
course,
you don't
of
think I
course.
know, but I know.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm very lucky that my dad has
Yeah.
raised me just not to care.
Wow,
But
that's literally like I don't even know how to say it. Like that's really inspirational. Because some a lot of people can like take that and they can use that because I know so many people, just like you said, so many people who care what people think. Don't want to start it because of what people say about them or the dislikes or anything. Yeah, and like pushing past that is so wonderful, and having thick skin is amazing. And I just wanted to ask, do you have any future goals for your YouTube channel? Like anything that you're going to strive for? I know you said you're going to join the Pound, and anything else?
I think my biggest dream is to be an actress. So right now, I'm definitely going to focus on YouTube and social media and the Pound. And then once we all move to LA, I think that I'll start taking acting classes and getting very serious about it. But that's the end dream. So I don't know when that will happen, but at the end of the day, I really want to be an actress. So,
Wow, that's amazing. Well, I can't wait to see you on the big screen, and I can't wait to see how
so
successful you're going to be, of course. And I
mhm.
hope everyone enjoyed this interview, and I had so much fun talking to you. It was wonderful and it was amazing. And I hope everyone out there knows that they're not alone, you're loved, and you're not alone. And you're wonderful and amazing. And I will link I will link McCall's information down below, her Instagram, the Pound LA, her YouTube, and I will link my website down below. And if you ever need anyone to talk to, I am always here for anyone. And I hope you have a wonderful day.